Greetings to all. Welcome to VMware Administration Training Session. Srinivas here. Just I'm going to explain general information about this course. Sorry, I was on mute till now. I didn't notice that. Thanks for notification. Let me proceed about general information. Once again, welcome to VMware Administration Training Session. Srinivas here. Whenever you are going to log in, just log into this Logic Labs. Tech.com. You are in a position to click on upcoming batch information. You can click on this upcoming batch information. You are in a position to get a complete information of batch information. This batch is batch number 286, VMware Administrator, faculty name, and when it is started, it is started on yesterday. And what is the time window? Complete details you are going to get from logiclabs.com site, wherein you just click on upcoming batches. You are in a position to get a complete information. One of the link, if you want to interest any of the emerging technology, you would like to see the details, you can click on respective course details and who is delivering the faculty and what is the time it is started, what is the window it is for every day. All those details are available. One such important information is you should be part of WhatsApp community. How to get a WhatsApp? If you are not part of WhatsApp community, just click on this particular WhatsApp link. You are going to get a WhatsApp communication link. Just use this link to be part of any group so that you are going to get a regular updates. It is very much important to be part of whatever the batch you are going to learn. You need to be part of respective WhatsApp group. All the WhatsApp group links are different. These WhatsApp groups are related to respective batch. So it is very much important. You need to be part of this regular, whatever the batch you are going to learn. You should be part of this WhatsApp community link so that you are going to get a regular updates about this particular batch and course details. You can, once these demo sessions are completed, if you are happy, you can click on buy now link here. And course content you can see. If you want to get a tomorrow demo session, these sessions are going to record and it will be uploaded to YouTube. Whoever not part of this particular WhatsApp community and whoever not registered, for them I'm explaining by looking at that YouTube video, they can register. If the demo sessions, that is tomorrow demo session is going to complete, after which, if you are happy with the training module, directly you can click on buy now course link and be part of this particular batch. Yeah, let me move to back. So this is general information. Admin team is available on contact Logic Labs team for any kind of queries. For any queries, you can contact our admin team. They are available support at logiclabstech.com, and these two are contact numbers. These two numbers are available on WhatsApp. You can contact on WhatsApp call as well from outside India. They are in a position to respond to your query either through mail or either through WhatsApp numbers. As I stated, there's 3 sessions. One session already completed. This is the second session. And tomorrow, one more session, 3 to attend live sessions. And from 4th session onwards, registered participants are going to get a separate Zoom link to continue the live sessions. Once you complete the batch payment, there is no option to shift the batch. So please make sure while making a payment, are you going to make the payment for right batch? If you are getting any issues to make the payment, please reach us on these numbers. Our admin team is available and they are ready to support you for any kind of issues to access the payment links, to access the WhatsApp community, whatever it may be. You can just leave a message. They are in a position to assist you. Yeah. Please join the WhatsApp community. This is very much important to get a regular update. That's our link already provided in chat window. Please look at the chat window. And all these sessions, all these live sessions are going to get recorded, and the sessions are available and for registered participant. Who is a registered participant? Whoever completed the payment, they are in a position to log into this LMS graphic portal wherein they can view the records. The importance and advantage of this online training is even if you miss one session also, there is a possibility you can review the recorded sessions and then continue further sessions. These record sessions are available for lifetime. N number of times you can watch and you can work on this particular record sessions. These, whatever the record sessions for registered participants for lifetime, N number of times, there is no limitation. And Logic Lab support team is available Monday to Saturday between 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. IST. You can reach WhatsApp or you can send a mail. They are in a position to respond to your query on top of this information. Yeah, we are available on social media as well. These are the complete link of the social media. I'm going to paste this information in the chat window. Please join, and one of the recorded sessions, whatever the demo sessions we are presenting for each and every emerging technology. Initial 2 or 3 sessions will be uploaded to YouTube. If you register, subscribe this particular YouTube channel, you are in a position to get a regular updates about new batches and whatever the record sessions they are uploading. You can get an understanding what they are going to talk about, whatever the course they are going to deliver. So please register on YouTube so that you are going to get a regular updates about new courses and new sessions, record sessions. First 3 sessions, whatever the course it may be, that sessions will be uploaded to YouTube for your reference. Yeah, this is all about general information. Let's move on to the course. Hope my screen is visible, I'm audible. If you have any issues at any point of time during this course, you are happy to interrupt me. There is no restriction. Okay. Today we are going to go ahead and start our course. Yesterday it is just a demo session. For every day, whatever the day we are going to discuss, every day we are going to start with what we are done on previous session. We are going to just review, recap on previous session, as previous session is just a demo session and self-introduction. Directly I'm going to what is today's agenda. Today's agenda is understand virtualization, why we are going to learn virtualization, what is the importance of this course module. Okay, and then we'll proceed for the remaining topics. As I stated in previous session, this training module is from the scratch. No other training module which are available over internet or anywhere scratch, they are not going to provide from the scratch. Here we are going to provide from the scratch, understanding the hardware, understanding the each and everything, and you are going to get a lab access with a nominal cost of course fee of 11,800. In dollars it is 142. We are going to get a 2 physical servers for 1 month access. Even if you go for physical servers rent basis also, you need to pay 20 to 30,000 rent. But here you are going to get a lab access on 2 physical servers and course content, live sessions, everything here you are going to get it with a nominal fee of 11,800. Okay, let's move on. Importance of virtualization. Whatever the training module you are going to understand, first we need to understand how important it is. Yes, Abdullah.
Hi, Srinivas. Sir, actually, I would like to know, like, with this course, VMware administration, which we are doing, is there any basic certifications which we can actually, go ahead and complete that?
Yes, we are going to, you can complete by going through this and you are in a position to complete. There is a certification is available. vSphere Data Center Virtualization Associate. That
Okay.
is, there is no pre-requirements of authorized training center requirement. Okay,
Okay, sure. Thanks, sir.
we are going to discuss on that also. Yeah, thank you. Okay, importance of virtualization. First of all, what we are going to learn from this module, I'm going to showcase Customer Connect, VMware. Everyone can access this VMware Customer Connect, wherein whenever whoever planning to learn VMware virtualization, they can register for free. Just click on login. If you are don't have a registered on this particular portal, go ahead and register. It is a free. You are going to get a regular updates. Now, what I'm going to showcase, what is the importance of virtualization and what is the importance of VMware, which we are going to learn about data center virtualization, that is vSphere, vCenter, ESXi, and vSphere server. You can see here, this is a VMware portal. What are products available under this particular from this particular vendor? I'm going to click on all products, wherein you can see that the list of products. There are complete list of products. Whatever the product you talk about, whatever the product you talk about, to understand that respect to implementation, respect to component understanding, everything is going to depend upon only two components. What are those two components? Those two components are VMware, vSphere, ESXi. This is a operating system, virtualization OS, virtualization operating system. And one more product we are going to understand, VMware vSphere vCenter server. These two products we are going to learn as part of this particular training module. Why these are important? Without ESXi host, this is a major component. Whatever the product you talk about, here there are plenty of products, VMware vSAN, VMware NSX, VMware Cloud Foundation, VMware Cloud Director, whatever the product you are going to talk about. All those components very badly depend upon these two components. Without these two components, nothing. There is no VMware virtualization. First, we are going to learn about what is how to deploy operating system. That operating system is going to deploy virtualization kernel. With the help of virtualization kernel, we are going to deploy number of desktops, number of virtual servers. Okay, without ESXi, I am not in a position to create any kind of virtualization. Virtualization is nothing but a emulation of system. A system means we are sitting in front of laptop. It is a physical component. It is a physical component. What we are going to understand here, that physical component, how we are going to virtualize to use the resource effectively. If you see here, I'm using my laptop. If we go here, the task manager, what is the utilization? Whatever the resources are available on my system, I'm not even utilizing 20% of CPU, 20% of memory. What about remaining resources? How can we effectively utilize? I'm just talking about desktop. If you are purchasing a physical server, you are going to spend of lakhs of rupees. And by spending lakh of rupees, what you are going to achieve, your how much resources you are going to utilize. You are going to deploy web server, you are going to utilize for application deployment, whatever it may be. It is going to utilize only few resources. The virtualization comes in picture, how we effectively utilize the resources. What is the resources I'm talking about? Processor. memory, storage, network. These components. A system is nothing but a five major components. One is processor, memory, storage, network. These four components are going to connect on a motherboard. That's the reason these five components, whatever the system, I can say one system means it is going to have these five components. With the help of these five components only, I am in a position to use. You take it as a laptop, you talk about any system. Without these five components, I am not going to achieve, I am not going to use any application. Okay. Now, whatever the products we are going to learn, these two products we are going to cover as part of this training module. Without these products, any VMware product, you can consider any VMware product, that those VMware product is not going to work without these two products. This is what we are going to learn about VMware vSphere. Under VMware vSphere, the product suite we are going to discuss. The product suite is nothing but ESXi, that is acting as a operating system virtualization kernel. Once that ESXi host is deployed, how can we manage number of ESXi hosts? There may be in enterprise environment, there may be 50, 100 or 1000 ESXi hosts. How can we manage all ESXi hosts from a single interface? That's where the concept comes in picture. VMware, vSphere, vCenter server. Okay, these two products we are going to understand throughout this course, and how do we perform maintenance, how do we perform activities and all those things. These versions are available from starting from 3.5 to 8.0. 8.0. Latest version is 8.0. Okay, so what is the legacy versions? How can we update? How can we upgrade from one version to another version, 3.5 to these are the versions are available in VMware vSphere for these two products. 5.0, 5.1, 5.5, 6.0, 6.5, 6.7, 7.0, now 8.0. These many versions were released under these versions. Out of these all versions, we are going to start from this legacy version. This is sufficient to understand. Once explain each and every topic about 6.5 virtualization, ESXi host installation, vSphere server installation, how do we configure, all those things we are going to start with this. Why? Because most of the enterprise environments currently running on legacy version. These two products are expired, end of life. Every environment, they need to upgrade their environment from this legacy version to either 7.0 or 8.0. How do we maintain? How do we upgrade? What are the factors we need to consider? That's all those things are going to discuss in this particular module. Okay, that is what virtualization. Without virtualization, you need to understand how the traditional approach is going on. How the traditional approach, traditional versus virtualization, then cloud. Traditional approach is nothing but you are going to deploy a system. By sitting in front of the system, you are going to work, install components and all those things. To work. If you want a 1 DB server or 1 web server or 1 application server, you need to have a system. On that system, you need to install operating system. First, you need to get a system. You need to install operating system. You need to install application to use that particular environment traditional way. That means for each and every OS application installation, you need a system to get OS installation and then on top of it, application installation. Okay, so In virtualization, how you are going to utilize? Why virtualization came into picture? Because the virtualization is a vital, because in older days, all server, a system means we need to have a physical system. I need to spend lakh of rupees for each and every system. With the help of virtualization, with the same system, here also it is going to have a same system. But with the help of the one system, I am in a position to create a number of virtual systems. That is the beauty of it. So what I'm going to do? Here I'm spending a lakh of rupees for each and every system. Here in virtualization, instead of spending number of systems for hardware purchase, I'm going to use one or two systems. By using one or two hardwares, I'm in a position to use number of virtual systems. This way, here we are going to come to an understanding how we have to deploy number of virtual systems. That's where the virtualization. How to understand virtualization? There are different vendors are available in virtualization market. VMware is one of the virtualization vendor, is industry leader. There are other products are available, virtualization products like Microsoft Hyper-V, Citrix, GenServer, Nutanix, HP. These different products are available virtualization. Even though after having these many virtualization products, virtualization VMware is industry leader. Why? We are going to understand why this is the industry leader. Okay. And then next, cloud. Can you imagine the cloud, whatever the AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud? Can you imagine cloud interface without background, without virtualization? It is not possible. That's where that concept is going to come into picture. Virtualization, how important is it? With how virtualization is going to work. Without virtualization, there is no cloud concepts. Every cloud, the background, the infrastructure is going to work on virtualization. One of the virtualization, according Microsoft Azure is there. Azure, they are going to use Hyper-V or whatever the virtualization they are feeling that it is better to serve the customers. Whatever the cloud technology, you name it anything, that underlying infrastructure, it is going to run on a physical systems. That physical systems are going to get installed with a virtualization component. What virtualization they are going to use according to their requirements. So that's where how important the virtualization is. Out of this virtualization, we are going to learn about VMware, that is industry leader, and that industry leader virtualization we are learning through this module. Okay. Hope you understand about importance of virtualization. If any doubt, at any point of time, you are happy to discuss and ask the query. Yeah. Now I'm going to move on to see here. Any server, you take it any system. What you are going to take, the system is going to have 5 major components that I said. How the system is going to work? The system is going to work between this hardware, OS, application, and the user relation. You take it laptop. For example, your laptop is there. Without laptop is nothing but a hardware component. On this hardware component, what you are having? Without installing operating system, Microsoft Windows 10 or Windows 11, will you be able to in a position to use that application? Will you be able to install application? No, right? Without installing application, are you in a position to use? Who is the users? I am the user. I am using my laptop system. Similar way, for every server, it may be physical server, it may be virtual server. Keep it aside for time being. What I'm discussing about, what I'm going to explain is, first we need to understand the relation between hardware, OS, application, and users. I'm going to ask a question. You are planning to use website, for example, google.com, or else IRCTC. You are trying to book a train ticket or a flight ticket. What you are going to use? Can anyone tell me? What are the components are going to work underneath to utilize respective portal? Can anyone tell me what are the components are there? Infrastructure, we are going to say that. Can anyone tell me? Yes, Mira. You can unmute.
Yeah, so uh, hardware, and then like you said, the hardware, then we have to install the operating system, the Windows or any kind of operating system that we require, and then the application would be our website, which would be anything like you said IRCTC.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Mira. Thanks for your cooperation. Yes, you take it anything, whatever the system you are looking for. Why we are looking for a system? Every system requirement in IT, there is a requirement from who is the requirement? Users. How many users are going to access? What their users are going to access? They are planning to use one application, IRCT website. If not website, they are going to utilize one application. Every application they are not going to use directly connecting. They are going to use the web browser to log into the respective application to get a desired functionality, whatever the information they're looking. User need to connect. User need to open the browser. Through internet is going to connect respective application. That infrastructure I need to develop. That where we are going to understand we need to have an hardware system, on top of it operating system. On operating system you are going to install number of application softwares according to whom you are doing all this to serve these users. So all systems requirement in IT infrastructure, you name it, database server, Windows administrator, Linux administrator, or whatever it may be, the infrastructure, that underlying infrastructure where the systems and OS and all those things running underneath that underlying infrastructure, we are there as a VMware administrator. Without VMware administrator, we are not that Wintel administrator or Linux administrator or database administrator, they are not in a position to use. We are come over here, hardware layer. This hardware layer, we are going to provide the virtual systems. How we are going to provide virtual systems? By using one of the physical server, physical hardware. A system is nothing but, how can I say that a server, a desktop? Can anyone tell me what is a desktop? What is a server? What is a desktop? What is a server? A simple layman understanding. This is an interactive session. I'd like to everyone to participate. It is right or wrong, doesn't matter. We are going to discuss through the group discussion only. We are going to enhance. Even I am going to learn from you. Okay. So it is a kind of group discussion. Yes, Arun. Arun.
Yeah, in the desktop means it doesn't comes with much configuration like cooling system, RAMs. Either we can upgrade or those things which is not in the desktop. If we go for server, we can install a number of features like RAID, visualization, maximum processor like Exxon, Intel Core processor. There we can customize it in a server level.
Yes, you are talking about hardware configuration. Yes, that is right. Okay. I'm talking about a primary understanding how can I differentiate a server, a desktop. Yes, Mira.
Uh, desktop could be like one person can use it or one user can log in into, but wherein a server can help uh, establish like multiple operating systems where other multiple users can log in.
Exactly. Yes. Arun mentioned that hardware layer, what is the server difference and desktop difference? Amira mentioned that what is the user level? I'm using my laptop. And what operating system I install? I'm installing Windows 10. Is that operating system supports multi-user interface? Only one person can log in at a time. According to my requirement, I'm purchasing a laptop because I'm only the person using the system. So what system I need to buy? I need to buy which can compatible for my single user interface. For single user interface, I no need to go and buy for server hardware. So laptop is going to be considered as desktop system because according to single user, the resource configuration, that hardware configuration with a single user, I made desktop system can run with a 2 GB memory or 4 GB memory and less disk space and less network space, bandwidth and all those things. If you think about server, a server need to provide a website they are going to access from outside. That website need to access by hundreds of users. A user is logging, connecting to respective application means each user is going to get assigned memory, get assigned CPU, get assigned data, get assigned network communication. How it is possible to serve those many number of users? What kind of hardware I need to maintain underneath? So can I go for, if it is 100 users are there, I need to have a server operating system. A server operating system, a desktop operating system is nothing but a desktop operating system can serve only single user interface. A server operating system can provide multiple users login access. I'm going to decide, am I going to go with a single user application development or I'm going to develop a multiple user application. According to application, according to number of users, I'm going to decide what operating system I need to provide. If it is a single user, I'll go with Microsoft Windows 10, Microsoft Windows 10 like that. If I go with the number of users, definitely I have to go with the server operating system. What are the server? Red Hat is there, Microsoft Windows is there, SUSE is there, different operating systems are available. Now I decided that operating system. Once operating system is designed, then I need to understand what is the compatible hardware, how many resources are required. That's where do I need to go for less configuration system or high-end configuration system. Desktop, you are going to get a laptop, you are going to get a desktop, you are going to get less than 50,000 or 60,000 rupees. Whereas in server hardware, I need to spend lakhs of rupees to get that much of memory, that much of storage, and that much of that is the difference. First, where it is coming from? User. User is going to use what application? Is it a single user application or multi-user application? According to application, there is a OS dependency. What OS can support respect to application? Then I'm going to derive what operating system to install. To install respect to operating system, what hardware I need to choose? What kind of hardware I need to choose? There, the concept VMware virtualization is going to come into picture. We are going to come into picture. VMware administrator is going to come into picture. To install our OS, we need to provide a system. That system we are providing as a virtual system. How much CPU is required? How much memory is required? I can provide a system, that virtual system. A system is nothing but a combination of 5 major components: processor, RAM, storage, network, These all 4 components are going to connect on motherboard. With these 5 components only, I can say that it is a hardware. That hardware I am going to manage as a VMware administrator. Is that hardware for desktop usage or for server usage? I can provide a virtual system for any purpose. It is respect to administrator responsibility. It is going to install desktop. He is going to install server operating system. Okay, that's where we are going to understand hardware, OS, and application and user relation. Hope it is clear. Next one. Understand resource shared concept. This is very, very important. Now I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm opening Task Manager. You can see that what is happening in this particular screen. Can anyone tell me what is happening? The resources, the CPU, memory, disk, network. What is happening? It is giving resources to Google Chrome, PowerPoint, Notepad, WebEx. These are what are these applications? Where these applications are running? Just 1 second. Where these applications are running? Who's giving this resources sharing to respect to application? My operating system. That operating system is coordinating with the hardware and prioritizing the resource, giving the resources to Google Chrome, Microsoft PowerPoint, or Notepad. That what is operating system layer here it is doing? Whatever the applications we are using in this particular my laptop system, my operating system, that is Windows 10 operating system, is giving a resource sharing. The operating system is an interface coordinating and handling requests from applications, and it is working with the coordinating with the hardware and giving the resource sharing. That is what it is happening, resource sharing. Similar way, now these all applications I'm going to replace with a virtual system. My Microsoft Windows operating system in my laptop, that Windows operating system is going to replace with a virtualization operating system. What virtualization operating system is going to do? It is going to create a virtual systems as like applications. These applications are going to replace on my virtualization layer as a virtual systems. How much a system is looking for resources? We are going to assign resources, how much CPU, how much memory, how much disk, how much network. All those things are going to give resource sharing. How it is happening? I'm using the hardware layer. Hardware is nothing but a 5 major components. Hardware is ready. On top of it, instead of normal operating system, I'm going to install a virtualization operating system. That virtualization operating system is going to coordinate with the hardware and give the portion of resources to each and every virtual system. That virtual systems are going to work just like this, number of applications. To work on number of applications, it is going to depend upon how many resources are available on my system. If my system has a number of CPUs or more, number of memory is more, what I can do? I can install number of applications. All application, gaming application, movie application, all those applications will work seamlessly. How it is working seamlessly? Each application requires some resources. Each application is nothing but a data. It has to execute. It has to give instruction. CPU is going to give instruction. It is going to buffer in memory, and that application is nothing but a data. That data is going to store in the storage, write the data in the storage, and it is able to establish communication over the network. That's four major components: processor, memory, storage, network. Where all these components are connecting? On a motherboard. Now what I'm doing? With the help of virtualization layer, I'm creating a virtual machine, virtual system. Once virtual system is ready, then they are going to install operating system. Same funda is going to come into picture. That's where I'm going to showcase the picture. How hypervisor layer, virtualization layer is going to come into picture. We are going to understand in this particular picture, we are going to understand host hardware. This is a host hardware. Hardware is nothing but CPU, memory, storage, network. On top of it, instead of normal Windows server or desktop operating system, now I'm going to install a virtualization hypervisor layer. With the help of hypervisor layer, what I'm going to create? I'm going to create a virtual systems. Once virtual system is nothing but it has a CPU, memory, storage, network, motherboard. I can call it a system. Once system is there, with respect to administrator, Linux administrator or Windows administrator, they are going to install operating system, and once operating system are there, they can install applications, they can configure. So where we are going to come into picture? We are going to come into picture to manage this entire structure. We are going to come into picture to manage this entire structure. Physical hardware, on top of it virtualization layer, on top of it we are going to create virtual machines and give it to respect to administrators. Sometime nowadays, without virtualization, because everything virtualized, you are not in a position to work on VMware, Windows administration or Linux administration or database administration without knowing of virtualization concept. Why? Everything is running on virtualization. Everything is running on virtualization. You talk it network, you take it as storage, and everything, the consoles are running on virtualizations. So we have to understand virtualization. That's where we are here to understand how we are going to deploy, how we are going to configure all these things. Okay. So it is very, very important and very easy to understand. I'm here to explain each and every component from the scratch. First, to work on any solution without understanding the basics, you are not in a position to understand why I'm doing this particular step. If you understand what is the importance, why I'm doing this step, you are in a position to expertise on that respective component. Okay, so this is a concept we are going to learn about virtualization. That is the importance component of virtualization. Yeah, why importance? Now, what is next? To understand, we need to understand what is a server mode. For a Wintel administrator, network administrator, database administrator, there is no need to understand what is the physical components because they are going to work on virtual systems. But we are, as a VMware administrator, we are going to work on physical system. Without physical system, virtualization operating system is not going to come into picture. Why virtualization? Effective utilization of physical resources. By using one physical server, one physical system, I am able to deploy multiple virtual systems. I am going to give it for desktop operating system. I can give it for server operating system. So every administrator is necessary to learn. VMware administrator need to understand virtualization. Linux administrator need to understand how the virtualization concept is going to work. Because without that, they cannot manage their respective servers. That's the reason virtualization is very, very important. If you understand virtualization, it is easy to understand cloud infrastructure. Okay. Now we are going to understand, as we are a VMware administrator, we need to understand physical hardware, how it looks like. What are the components are there? I told you 5 major components. We need to understand those components first of all. That's where we are going to understand the physical servers, how the data center, how the virtualization environment is running on, what is the physical system, how it looks like. These type of server models are there: tower server, rack servers, blade servers. These three categories, you go with any vendor, Dell, IBM, Cisco, any vendor. These kind of server models are there available to utilize to install any kind of operating system. What operating system we are going to learn? We are going to learn about hypervisor, virtualization. Don't get confused. Hypervisor and virtualization both are similar technical terms. Talks about virtualization. Okay, someone says that hypervisor, someone says that virtualization. Both are talks about same concept. How we can create a virtual system. Okay. Now, by looking at this particular picture, you are in a position to understand what type of server models are available. Tower server. What purpose this tower server are going to use? This tower server has a space to accommodate number of storage disks. That's the reason tower servers are utilized for storage function. Wherever backup servers, storage servers, all those functionalities, tower model kind of hardware. Even in this system, motherboard will be there. If motherboard is there, there will be a processor component to be installed and RAM to be installed and all those things. Every system, all those systems are going to have those 5 major components. But use of this application differs server to server. Now in virtualization layer, we are going to use most of the enterprise environment going to run on, most of the virtualizations are going to run on one new rack server or blade servers. I'm going to showcase this server infrastructure, how it is going to just understand how the rack servers, whatever the lab you are going to do, that is Dell PowerEdge rack servers. Rack servers is nothing but a simple understanding. Rack servers. What is a rack server? In a data center, in a room, we are going to rack enclosures. These kind of cabinets will be there. These kind of cabinets enclosure, I can say iron cell. These are the rack enclosures will be there in a data center. In this particular servers, whatever the rack servers I'm telling, this rack server will go and insert. How many in a bigger rack enclosure? Maybe 1U rack server. What is 1U? The density, the height of the each server, 1U rack server, 2U rack server, 4U rack server. This is nothing but thickness of the server. What is the thickness? What is the purpose? It is can accommodate more number of devices within it. In this 1U rack server, CPU and memory, more resources are available. In this particular 1U rack server, only it is going to talk about only CPU and memory resources. Whereas in 2U rack server, it can work for both compute resources and storage resources. You can see that how many disk and it can accommodate. These are the disk base. Whatever the disk you can see, these are disk base. If you see that 4U, it is going to accommodate more number of disks. And at the same time, it has a height of this cabinet is high. It can accommodate more memory, more CPU capacities. In this tower model, it is going to accommodate more number of hard disks. Now you can imagine this kind of tower server I need to place in a data center means how much space is required. If I'm planning to install this particular server, kind of server, how much space is required in a data center? Okay, let's see. This rack enclosure is there. In this rack enclosure, one box I am going to place in my data center. It can easily accommodate 10 1U rack servers. If I go with 4U rack servers, it can accommodate only 5 or 3 or 4. That is the dependency. According to requirement of the server, we are going to place. Now, there is one more advantage, one more additional component, that is a blade enclosure. I'm going to say blade servers, blade chassis. See here, this is a blade chassis. You can see this image, whatever the image you can see this. This is a blade chassis. This kind of blade chassis can go and sit in this particular rack enclosure. 3 or 4 blade chassis can sit in this particular enclosure. In this particular chassis, in this particular enclosure, in this particular rack enclosure, I am going to say that it is a rack enclosure. In this rack enclosure, I can place rack servers. I can place blade chassis. What is a blade chassis? Blade chassis is nothing but it is a one kind of small enclosure. It is capable to withstand within the same enclosure. See here, 1, 2. These are blade servers, blade hardware, blade infrastructure. These blade servers are utilized, are meant for virtualization workloads only. What is a virtualization workloads? Virtualization VSXi host to install what is required, more number of CPU, more number of memory resources. You can see that how many memory modules, how many CPU modules are installed here. These blade servers are in enterprise virtualization workloads are going to run on this blade servers. Most of the critical enterprise environments, their virtualization running on these blade servers. This, do you understand what is the till now? What is the difference between rack servers, tower servers, and what is a blade server? The advantage of this blade server is you can see within the same rack enclosure, if I use the tower server, I can place only one server. Maybe one tower server, on top of it, one more tower server. I can place only 3 tower servers in the same big one enclosure. If I go rack servers, if I go with 1U rack server, I can place in this rack enclosure 10, max 10. In the same rack enclosure, I can place 3 blade chassis. 3 blade chassis. Each blade chassis can accommodate 16 blades. 16 blade architecture, 16 blade servers. This, whatever the server, whatever the system, it came out. Yes, Mira.
So this chassis are different for every like every company like Dell or UCS or I mean all have 16 or they're come in different.
Okay, very good point. See this, whatever this you are able to see in this chassis, the chassis is design may change from vendor to vendor. But architecture, that blade chassis is going to accommodate 16 blade servers. What is 16 blade servers? You can see here in this picture I mentioned half height blade server, full height blade server. In blade enclosure, blade chassis, if I go with half height blade server, I can accommodate 16 blade servers. If I go with full height blade server, this full height is nothing but it has a more capacity of CPUs, 4 CPUs and more memory, TBs of memory can accommodate on this particular full height blade server. If I go with full height, the same chassis can use only 8 blades. See, you can see here, this chassis, this blade chassis has only 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 blade chassis available. What is an advantage of this chassis? This chassis is going to reduce for each and every rack server or a tower server. For each server, it is going to have a power cable. As a server hardware means 2 power supplies will be there, 2 power cables, 2 network cables, and 2 other storage cables. Like means if you see that one enclosure, if I connect 10 rack servers in this particular enclosure, 10 rack servers, how many cables are going to come into picture at the back end? But in this blade chassis, no cables. This entire 16 servers, if it is half height, 16 blades can be inserted. If it is a full height blade servers, I can accommodate 8 blades. This vendor, the blade chassis, same across all the vendors. Half height blades, I can insert 16 blades. Full height means, see here, this is Cisco blade chassis. This might be HP blade chassis. Maybe different vendor, different functions are going to come into picture. What you need to understand? You need to understand hardware. Why you need to understand? You are going to work as a VMware administrator. You are going to work on only physical servers. If you don't understand what is a physical type model, you are not considered as a virtualization administrator. For Intel administrator, network administrator, they may not understand what is a physical layer. But we need to understand what is physical models. Okay, so these are the physical server models are available. All those enterprise critical enterprise what I can say that big enterprise environments, mid-scale, large-scale enterprise environments are running on this blade infrastructures only. This blade chassis is going to having a 16 blade servers or 8 blade servers can run on only 2 power cables or 4 power cables, all 16 blades. You can see that redundancy it is going to provide. Power redundancy, network redundancy, storage redundancy, everything is going to provide. Now, the new architecture that is coming into picture with the help of this blade infrastructure, a new architecture is coming, like even rack server also that new architecture is coming, that is hyper-converged infrastructure. What is hyper-converged infrastructure? We are going to learn in upcoming session. So, a VMware administrator must understand, not should, must understand physical layer. Without understanding physical layer, without accessing the physical infrastructure, you are not considered as a VMware administrator. Hope you understand. You can see that HPC 7000 blade chassis, how it looks like. Cisco UCS, the blade chassis, how it looks like. You can see the differentiation between the HP chassis, how it looks like, and Cisco chassis. This is one more model, Hawaii. There are different vendors, but all vendors are going to follow universal factors. What is a universal factor? If I go with half-height blade, I can accommodate 16 servers within a chassis. If I place this 16 3-blade chassis in the same, again I need to use the same rack enclosure to place that blade chassis. For example, in this rack enclosure, I'm going to place 3 chassis. How many servers I'm able to accommodate within one rack enclosure? 16 into 16 into 16. Those many servers I'm able to accommodate within a single enclosure. That is the beauty of the hardware. We, as a VMware administrator, we must understand what is a rack server, what is a tower server, and what is blade server. In this entire thing, we are going to consider as a compute servers. What is a compute server? Whatever the server hardware is providing more CPU, more memory, that is a compute server hardware. Whatever the server hardware is providing, compute plus storage, that storage tower model and 4U rack server or 2U rack servers is feasible according to storage requirement, according to backup requirement. They need to go with only tower server, rack server, and this one. They cannot go with blade server. The blade infrastructure and 1U infrastructure rack servers only meant for virtualization workloads. Why? Virtualization workloads provides only concentrate on compute resource. How the storage we are going to get? We are going to get a storage from this centralized storage server. That centralized storage, we are not going to use local storage. There is one more concept is going to come into picture, vSAN. We are going to discuss about that overview. Okay, these are the server hardwares we need to understand. Without understanding server hardware, you are not in a position to work on virtualization. Okay, hope it is clear. Any doubts? This is all about today. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about further hardware components. Yeah. Before closing for today, any doubts, any clarifications, please? So before closing, I'm going to highlight one important thing. So this is the second day of session. Please, if you are happy with, please share with your friends, and then please complete the payment by clicking on going to the logiclabstech.com and click on upcoming batches. You are in a position to choose the batch and click on buy now course, and share with your friends who are interested to enhance their skills on virtualization. I'm here to provide from the scratch to until L3 level. You are in a position to perform all the actions on your hands. You are going to get the hands-on practice, okay, on Dell PowerEdge Rack servers. Okay. Thanks for all your support. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.